Hi, beautiful. I'm so glad that you found your way here to the Your Life on Purpose Masterclass. During the next 15 minutes, we are going to discuss a variety of topics surrounding your soul purpose. There's a presentation video, but you can also just listen to this as an audio. I advise you to turn off all distractions and listen so that you can keep yourself clear and present on the information that we'll be covering. Today we'll be covering the definition of purpose as I use it in my work with women around the world. I will unveil the top 3 myths that are preventing you from figuring out what on earth to do with your life. I will share with you your number 1 core soul purpose and how you can live it right now. I will also share with you the top 3 tools you need to live on purpose. Then I'll share why doubting yourself is actually your greatest asset, and I'm being serious. And lastly, I'll share with you my number 1 tip for overcoming fear and self-doubt. So before I continue, my name is Katrina Harling, and I'm a coach and mentor for women just like you. Women who are seeking more meaning in their lives. I help you to overcome self-doubt and fear so that you can live in alignment with your soul. My 2 biggest struggles in life have been doubting and discrediting myself and figuring out what on earth to do with my one precious life. I've spent 20 years studying personal development, taking courses, reading books, listening to audios, anything and everything I could do to figure out what on earth I'm here for and how to have the courage and audacity to live that. And now I help other women just like you do the exact same thing. So without any further ado, to the topic at hand, purpose. The definition of purpose as I use it in my work with women around the world. On the screen now are a couple of dictionary meanings, but the way that I see purpose is varied in relation to ourselves. It's a sense of vocation that has come from listening to one's life and letting one's life speak to you. It's a core set of values, desires, and dreams that you use as your yardstick to measure and guide your life. It's a sense of meaning that has been created by you, for you, so you can feel fulfilled and content every single day. As everything in life is ever changing, I do also believe that your purpose will change and that your definition of purpose will change too. But essentially, to live your life on purpose means to live life in a way that is meaningful and joyful to you. One in which your contribution to the world is a meeting of your gifts, talents, perseverance, and hard effort with some need of the world. Before I began the work that I do now, I was constantly seeking my purpose, my passion, my one thing. I was a seeker, and unfortunately, I was seeking answers from the wrong kinds of questions. Which leads me to my next topic, the top 3 myths preventing you from figuring out what on earth you're here to do with life. The core myths about purpose. Myth number 1, there is one job that will be your purpose, and this is what you must find. I remember trying on different career hats and titles like doctor, teacher, lawyer. And here's the thing about your soul purpose work. The physical job or title can vary, and yet the core reason of the work, the root, the raison d'être that sustains and fulfills you might be the same. All of the roles above, for example, doctor, lawyer, teacher, are in service of other people. If working with and serving people is a value of yours, you might choose any one of these career paths and feel fulfilled and like you're living a life with meaning and purpose. So, take the nouns out of it. Take the titles out of it. Focus on your nature, what speaks to you, the story your life has been telling. Myth number 2. Finding your purpose is something external or outside of you. Your purpose is more like a way of being than a goal to achieve. Less of a striving, doing thing, and more of a peeling back the layers, being who you are kind of thing. It's a quote from Marianne Williamson. I don't think of purpose as something we find. I think of it as something we are. Language is a limitation here, tempting us to think that our purpose is something separate from, somehow outside of our being. As I see it, a human being is both a particle and a wave, both a noun and a verb. So the question really is, how can you go about being more of you? If that's a daunting question, let's go back to basics. What do you like to do? What makes you happy? What brings you pleasure no matter how small? Go and do those things. Go and be those things. Dr. Abraham Maslow argued that recovering the self must include the recovery of the ability to have and to cognize these inner signals, to know what and whom one likes and dislikes, what is enjoyable and what is not, when to eat and when not to, when to sleep, when to urinate, when to rest. The experientially empty person, lacking these directives from within, these voices of the real self, must turn to outer cues for guidance. For instance, eating when the clock tells him to, rather than obeying his appetite. He guides himself by clocks, rules, calendars, schedules, agendas, and by hints and cues from other people. But as Parker Palmer insightfully put it, the soul is like a wild animal, tough, resilient, savvy, self-sufficient, and yet exceedingly shy. If we want to see a wild animal, the last thing we should do is go crashing through the woods shouting for the creature to come out. But if we are willing to walk quietly into the woods and sit silently for an hour or two at the base of the tree, the creature we are waiting for may well emerge, and out of the corner of an eye we will catch a glimpse of the precious wildness we seek. The conclusion I draw from these two quotes is that we must listen to ourselves. We must put the noise of the calendars and the rules and the schedules and the agendas and the hints and cues from other people aside and take some quiet time to listen carefully to that wildness within, which is our soul. Myth number 3. You must continue seeking. If you've been on this search for a while now, you'll be familiar with the need and the urge to seek. You seek answers, you seek truth, you seek jobs, you seek knowledge, you seek classes, you seek courses, you're always seeking, seeking, seeking. Seek and you shall find, the biblical phrase does go. However, I invite you to, as of today, become a finder. For if you continue to seek, you will always be someone who seeks. Perhaps you will never arrive, perhaps you will never become, perhaps you will never be someone who creates. Become someone who assimilates the information and turns knowledge into wisdom. Become someone who truly learns, who truly listens, and who integrates what you learn from audios, classes, courses, books. Become a finder. Which leads me to your number 1 core soul purpose and how you can live it right now. So, to live your life on purpose, before we think about vocation and interaction with the external world, we must first begin with the interaction in our internal world. Your core purpose on this earth right now is to be you. Unashamedly, unabashedly, unquestionably, authentically, wildly, randomly you. And this is why you're here. You are unique. There isn't a soul on the earth amongst all 7 billion of us here with the exact same DNA structure as you, the exact same upbringing, perspective, gifts, talents, strengths, weaknesses, fears, and doubts. Your energetic signature is yours and yours alone. So this is who you came to be. But the trick is, we learn through childhood and into adulthood that maybe the way that we are isn't good enough. Maybe the way that we are isn't right. So we start to wear masks and play roles, and we learn that maybe speaking loudly isn't a good thing, so we become shy. We learn that maybe we aren't good enough, so we try to be good all the time. You're here to uncover those lies. You're here to uncover those myths. You're here to uncover those roles and peel them back so you can be who you are in every moment. To say what you want, to say what you don't want, to help in ways that are meaningful, to do what brings you joy, to express yourself creatively. That's your core purpose. Because when you can uncover the part of yourself and listen to that part of yourself, you can uncover your true values and core desired feelings. You can uncover what is truly important to you. Because I want to go on a little tangent here and say that anytime that you desire something in your life, a new job, a career, your purpose, work, a relationship, a new flashy car, that dress you saw while scrolling through Instagram, it's not the actual thing that you desire. I'll repeat that. Anytime you desire something in life, or desire something to no longer be in your life, it's not the actual thing being in or out of your life that you desire. Whenever you desire something to be in and out of your life, it's because you believe that by being, doing, or having that thing in and out of your life, you will feel a certain way. If you really get down to the bottom of it, to the why, It's because you believe that having the new car will make you feel, for example, more powerful, relaxed, more happy, more easeful. So when you can get to the core of you and what's really important to you and how you desire to feel, then you can start to uncover your purpose work in the world. Then you can begin to write the map to your life with guideposts and markers. Which leads me to the top 3 tools for living your life on purpose. Tool number 1. Be clear on what's important to you and what you value. When you know what matters and what you value, you know when to say yes and when to say no. You know what to pursue and what to let go of. You know what you are creating and what you can let go of. If you don't know what you value, I have a great PDF download that helps you figure that out. Number 2. Say no. Once you've worked out what's important to you and what you value, say no to anything that isn't in alignment. That's no to people, places, activities, opportunities that do not agree or do not fit into your values and what's important. Don't know how to say no? Join my Facebook group. I'll be creating a training on this very soon. And number 3, follow your bliss. I love this quote by Joseph Campbell. But basically what I mean is follow your interests and see what sticks. What lights you up? What brings you joy? What do you want to learn? What would you do if money were no option? Go and find those things. Take a class, read a book, take lessons. Just go and do it. The end game here isn't that one of these things may be your life purpose work, but more about to play and to be in a joyful state and to learn. Which brings me to doubt. In doing and trying these new things, you are bound to come across fear and self-doubt. What will they think? What if they don't love me anymore? What if I'm no good at it? What if I fail? What if I succeed? And let me tell you something I've learned. This self-doubt is your greatest asset. Why? Because you, us, the self-doubters, will try harder, will prepare more, will push outside of our comfort zones. You will learn so much about yourself. It's been my personal experience and with my work with women that people who doubt themselves tend to learn more and put in more effort and try harder and persevere. So don't see doubt as a tool. So don't see doubt as a limitation. See it as a tool. See it as a tool and go and do what you need to do. Which leads to my number 1 tip for overcoming this fear and self-doubt. Which actually just comes back down to the old Nike ad, just do it. Whatever you fear, just do it. In the act of doing is the only place you will overcome your fear. If you need some help with that, this is my job. This is my purpose. This is what I'm here for. Book in a complimentary life path reading today in the links below. And we'll go over your core life struggles, your core life path, and create a plan to help you move forward and move past the fear and doubt. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for joining this masterclass. And if you have any questions, please contact me. I hope that you utilize and integrate the information I've shared today, and I hope you live your life on purpose, whatever that looks like to you. With heart always, Katrina.